I'm joined by Congressman Bruce Westerman. Good morning, sir. How are you doing today?
Good morning, Kevin. Doing well.
Well, like everything that goes through Congress, it seems like it's a mouthful to say, but we'll give it a shot. The Plains and Eastern Clean Line Transmission Project, there have been concerns about this in Arkansas, and a deaf ear has been out there for a while as you've tried to fight some of this with the Arkansas delegation, but now maybe the government is listening a little bit more.
Yeah, it finally took Senators Bozeman and Cotton putting a hold on some DOE nominees before we could have a meeting with Energy Secretary Moniz. But yeah, it's a project. Its basic purpose of it is to put wind energy from Oklahoma over into Tennessee so that they can connect with the TVA and reach those eastern markets with Oklahoma wind energy. And the Arkansas Public Service Commission denied the company public utility status. So they went to the federal government trying to use something called Section 1222 to allow the federal government to team with a private company and use eminent domain. So the state of Arkansas rejected it, and now they're trying to go through the federal government, and the whole delegation's had a big concern about this. We wrote a letter to the secretary back in September, and it was basically ignored. So last week we did have a meeting, Senators Cotton, Bozeman, and the whole House delegation met with the secretary.
What would be the issue here for Arkansas? Is it a landowner issue?
Yeah, it's private property issues. There are actually several issues, and probably not enough time to get into all of it on the phone call. But
right.
Who would be responsible for this line ultimately, and why the company decided to go through total private property, whereas in the 4th District where I represent, there's a lot of public property there on the Forest Service that they could have tried to route the line through. But if you think about this whole project, basically it's just trying to get wind power from Oklahoma over to Tennessee, and Arkansas is kind of just an inconvenience or an obstacle that they've got to get the power across. If you think of it as an interstate highway, it's kind of like a highway going across Arkansas with one off-ramp and no on-ramp. They did agree to take off about 500 megawatts of power in Russellville that could be used in Arkansas, but if an Arkansas company wanted to put power back on the line because it's a direct current transmission line, it's got some cost inhibitors in being able to generate power and put it back on it. So it's kind of a complicated issue, but it basically comes down to private property rights. The line crosses all 4 congressional districts, and I've heard from a lot of constituents as well as our whole other federal delegation.
All right, we'll continue to follow that, too. Congressman Bruce Westerman here. Information from your office says that you voted along with your House colleagues for the Visa Waiver Program Improvement in Terrorist Travel Prevention Act. If you would explain what this is and your vote on that.
Well, we found a gap in our security in protecting the country, and it was basically through this Visa Waiver Program that was put in place to allow people from 38 other countries to travel to the U.S. without a visa. Because of that program was in place, you could have these foreign fighters that go fight with ISIS and get radicalized, go back to their home country that's part of this Visa Waiver Program, and get on an airplane and come to the U.S. without a visa. So we tightened up the restrictions on that, and will require those countries to have no-fly list, and also to use different kinds of biometric visas and use an Interpol database for people who are using that program. So it's a way to help make this country safer and protect who's coming here.
You've been a busy guy. Congressman Bruce Westerman, when do you get a break here?
Well, I'm in Arkansas today, back to D.C. tomorrow, and we'll be there until we get wrapped up for the year. That could be Thursday, it could be next week. We'll just have to see how it goes when we get back up there.
Congressman Bruce Westerman, always a pleasure to talk to you. Thanks so much for your time.
Thank you, Kevin. Have a good day.